Hey guys, welcome to Monday Mornings with Shark Fin Barber Edition. My name is Vinny, and today we're going to be talking about your approach to point cutting and is it giving you the outcomes that you desire efficiently with control and safety. So we're going to be looking at your approach, how you're holding your shears, what you're looking for in the hair, and the two different styles that I want to talk about today are either going to help you texturize the hair or they're going to help you debulk in certain areas. Enjoy. All right guys, jumping into two different types of point cutting today. I want to talk about one where you're going to be putting texture in and one where you're going to be removing bulk. First, I want to start out with how to properly stand, hold your shear to give you the best result. When I'm walking around on the floor and students are practicing this before we maybe go over the lesson in class, I see some very interesting things. One thing I've been noticing is how people are holding their shear when they're going to point cut. I've seen them pick up their cutting arm, and then they're bending their wrist forward and approaching the hair with the cutting blade on the outside. And they're hovering and pointing. So this is not going to give you a controlled result, and it can also end up in you cutting yourself. When you are going to point cut, if you're holding your shear out like you're doing normal shear over comb, I tell my students that they're going to bring their elbow in and up. That points the shear down. And then here, if you're not at the proper angle you want, this would give you more of a textured point cutting. If you're not at the proper angle and you want to debulk, there's two things you can do. You can either elevate your elbow, and you can see that the shear angle will now change so that it's in a floor to ceiling angle, and then we can cut straight in and out. Or when you bring the shear up, you can actually move the shear, and I like to pivot it with my index finger and my pinky so that I can get the proper angle without cranking my wrist. You guys want to be very comfortable and develop a habit that's going to give you longevity again behind the chair and not leave you with issues in your wrist. So again, picking up the hair and approaching the hair for control first is going to start with what you're doing with the shear, and then what angle you want to approach the hair, either straight in or on a hard angle to create texture. So without picking up hair right now, the other thing you want to pay attention to is your hand that you're holding the hair in. So I take the still blade, and when holding the hair, my middle finger is slightly higher than my index finger, and I can put the still blade there and cut across with great control. So I'll show you that here again. With the middle finger acting as a higher ridge here, I can rest the still blade there, angle the shear out slightly, and cut straight across. And again, this will give me the most control, and I won't have to worry about cutting myself while doing that. If we're going to point cut for texture, I can see the angle at which I'm going to be approaching the hair and moving across. If I'm going to be debulking, then I can check my angle to move across the section straight up and down. So let's take a look at that now. Take a section. First, we'll start with a texturizing, so I'm going to go in on an angle. Again, I can ride the ridge on the finger. I'm in a proper position, and then depending on how much texture I want, that will depend on how hard of the angle I'm going to go in. And I'm just putting in these nice V cuts. And what is that creating? We all know it's creating short hair amongst long hair, and that'll give me nice texture in the haircut or volume. So let's see that one more time. And then the next thing I want to talk about is what I'm looking for in the hair. So again, nice and controlled, putting short lengths in amongst the long length to get that nice texture. One other thing I've noticed as point cutting has become very popular, and a lot of people want to do it right from the rip instead of putting a straight cut in, as I walk students into understanding this and creating a good habit, if you know you want to texturize and you want to move through a blunt cut first, I just have them leave it a little longer than what they are thinking, so then that will give them room to go back into the section and point cut. The other thing I've noticed that students are kind of struggling with is they're not leaving enough hair coming out of the fingers to actually give them a deep angle and to create the short to long hair to get the texture, and they're just kind of hovering on the top here and just adding in, just taking a little bit away from the top. If you have straight hair, if you're dealing with straight hair and that blunt cut looks like a line in the hair, you can see it, then you could use the ends to just kind of point cut to break that line up. But if you're looking to actually add texture, that's not going to work. You need a deeper point cut on that angle for there. Moving on to removing bulk while doing this point cut. Again, we're going to approach this the same as far as holding the hair in my non-dominant hand. We're going to adjust from an angle to straight up and down, and again, we can elevate the elbow and that'll change the shear angle, or I can leave my elbow down and adjust the shear angle in my holding position, and I can walk my shear straight across my middle finger for control and safety. What I want to say about the debulking, what I'm looking for is pockets of density in the hair. There are typical areas of density that are going to be common amongst most people's heads and then hairstyles. But you're going to be looking for significant areas of density, and that's how I know where I need to point cut. And again, it's going to be straight up and down because we're looking to remove bulk here. We like the length, but we might want the hair now to lay differently on the head shape. So we'll show you from this angle. Areas that are, especially for a flow back here, we're going to find pockets of density in the parietal, in the crown, and then the apex of the head. So here, here, and here, I can point cut. Skipping that center part, I don't need to remove any bulk from there. Again, picking up in the parietal. Deep channel cuts in those dense pockets, and the hair is telling me where those pockets are for this haircut and for this mannequin head. Another approach, the hair is flowing back, so instead of picking the hair straight up, I found it to be comfortable to take a section and hold it out a little bit more parallel to the head. This gives me more control, and you can see how dense this is, so I can actually put more cutting into that section to achieve the desired result there. Again, on the parietal side, this side for the parietal, I can elevate, which makes me elevate my hand, or I can hold it out to cut straight across that way. I'll show you at this angle. I'm going to show you over here. All right. So when you're going to point cut, you can debulk the hair or you can texturize. Pay attention again to how you're holding your shear. All right. Pay attention to the angle If we're texturizing, we're going in for these deep V cuts. If you're debulking, you're going in and straight out. You can ride the ridge of your middle finger with the still blade for the most control and for safety. And then the common areas that you're going to be looking for areas of density to debulk, again, apex, crown, and your parietals. When you're going to texturize for messy haircuts, then you can use that across the whole top as you see fit. So guys, thank you so much. I hope this was helpful. Take this out to behind the chair if you need to practice on a mannequin head. Grab one of those, and like we said before, grab a friend. Please comment below if there's anything else you would like to see, or if you enjoyed this video. Have a wonderful week.